the author of the book, Liberal Privilege, Joe Biden and the Democrats' Defense of the Indefensible. Don, it's great to see you tonight. Thanks very much for joining us. Your reaction to all of this?
It's my... Listen, it doesn't surprise me. I wrote the book, Liberal Privilege, because that's exactly what this is. I talk about these very things, right? If you have an accusation like these, times, what is it now, 7 or 8? I've lost track. There's so many that are coming out of the woodwork. All of them seem to be tied somehow to the New York Democrat Party also, which leads me to believe that there's probably dozens more people that are just worried about reprisal affecting their, job security working in the Democrat Party, going after the leader of New York's Democrat Party. But it's this sort of hypocrisy that goes on. If Andrew Cuomo were a Republican governor, they would have perp walked him into a courthouse by now. Okay, beyond the sexual harassment allegations, you have a few allegations now that seem to go much further than that. There was actually touching involved. That seems to be more like sexual assault to me. You then also have the added benefit of the fact that he lied about sending your grandmother into a nursing home to her death times a few thousand. And then tried to cover that up. This guy was made a hero when he seems like he's maybe the biggest predator in American politics today. And yet, that's what you get if you're a Democrat. You can get away with it. No one's going to hold you accountable. The media will give you an Emmy Award while you're either sending Nana to her death or you're groping one of your staffers. That's what's going on here. And if this was done I'm in Florida right now. If Ron DeSantis did that as governor of Florida, he'd be in jail by now. But Andrew Cuomo will likely get away with it. Joe Biden won't even comment on it. Didn't stop Joe Biden from commenting on Brett Kavanaugh or any other Republican that's been accused of these things. Joe Biden probably not the best person to talk about these things given his history of sniffing children, etc. But that's what it is. It's a double standard that we have to correct. It cannot continue like this anymore. There should be equal justice under the law. Right now, there's only justice under the law if you're a Republican. You get justice served upon you, usually in a negative way. If you're a Democrat, you get away with whatever you want.
And you've written about this because it's aided and abetted by social media in some regard, who has taken a side on all of this. Cancel culture is alive and well. For some reason, they've decided that Andrew Cuomo is expendable right now, as the Wall Street Journal wrote in its op-ed. Take a step back for us, Don, and tell us about the policies as you see it in this first 60 days of the Biden administration. What strikes you most about all of the overturning of the Trump policies, whether it's immigration, whether it's this massive spending package, and we will be talking coming up about massive tax increases that are on the way?
Of course. I mean, I think it's probably the most disastrous first 60 days in the history of American politics, and certainly the presidency. He's trying to and will be able to say the border issue is Donald Trump's fault. We don't know how, because the border wall was working. The numbers were going down. There wasn't sort of the drug trafficking. All of these stories, by the way, Maria, you're hearing nothing about. The numbers of drugs coming across the border, human trafficking, sex trade, smuggling, et cetera, that's going on right there. That was caused entirely by Joe Biden. When you say, congratulations, we won't be enforcing our laws. We will give you free health care. We will give you free education. What do you expect? They then say, you, America, you must shut down your business. You must wear a mask. You must do this. But if you're infected with COVID and you come across the border illegally, we're just going to release you into American society. What could possibly go wrong? That's the pseudoscience that's been driving the nonsense of this administration.
Well, I know that Florida feels a lot different tonight where you are than New York and many other states, Don, also a result of those policies. Donald Trump Jr., great to see you tonight. We'll keep watching. Thank you, sir.